Hello everybody, Skywarped33 here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my Toy Bonnie puppet that I just finished, like yesterday. If I don't sound like 100% in this video, it's because I'm still recovering from like a sore throat and that kind of stuff. Don't worry, it's not like the big virus or anything. I just kind of had my throat hurt, so kind of made it hard to make videos for a couple days, but I'm feeling a lot better, so I'm making the showcase on this guy now. So let's just jump into it. Alright, so we're going to show off some close-up details right off the bat. So as you can see, it is Toy Bonnie from Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I feel like I got the shape of his head really well on this guy. I personally really like how he turned out. Now, right off the bat, some of you will probably say that he is the wrong shade of blue, and I would have to agree on that. So, all I had for blue in lockdown was this, which, I mean, it's more of like a baby blue, so it's not exactly the right shade, but I mean, I think it still looks alright, so just addressing that at the start of the video. I still think he looks pretty good, even though he's slightly the wrong shade of blue, but other than that, I think I did a pretty good job making all of the correct details, including proper teeth this time, and his nose, and all this stuff. So yeah, his ears don't move, they're pretty solid in there. His mouth can open and close. This is probably the smallest functioning puppet I've made to date. So like, the reason I made him so small was because I was mainly working with like a limited supply of fabric, and I didn't want to make him like too big and run out of fabric or something like that. So it turned out pretty well, but like I also kind of thought it would be kind of like a challenge to see if I could make a small functioning puppet, which I was able to do. As you can see, his mouth is able to open and close, which is because of this little mechanic here. I've got a old chip clip that is attached to a little system in here that goes down and around to the bottom jaw, so when I squeeze it in, it closes his mouth, and when I let go, it stays open. So with that, I can kind of make him like lip sync to different things and talk and As you can see, I painted the neck all green so that when I use him in some sort of project, which I don't exactly have an exact idea of what I'm going to be using him for, but I know I definitely wanted to start making the toy animatronics, so eventually, once I figure out what I'm going to use this guy for, I can just take the neck out and film him on green screen and make his head like composited onto an animatronic body or something like that. So kind of similar to how I did my Bindi puppet, where I painted the stick underneath him green, but this one actually has a mechanic where his mouth can open and close, so kind of neat. Like I said, if this video seems a little bit all over the place, it's because it kind of is. Like I said, kind of still recovering, so trying to make sure I show off everything properly. So here is a close-up of his eyeball. So as you can kind of see, I painted him as best I could. I used like a toothpick to do the white dots on there, which I think turned out really cool. His eyes are connected by magnets on the bottom, so they can technically come out if you just take them off. As you can see, a little magnet in there. It's just one solid piece cut like this, and then I painted it and put a clear coat on it so it wouldn't scratch. A fun little fact is, when his eyes are in, I can actually turn it on the magnet and make him kind of like look from the side, which I think looks pretty cool. Might use this in a project coming up where he kind of like, I would stop motion animate him looking forward, and then his eye just kind of like slowly turns towards the camera like that or something. Could be quite spooky, especially with like proper lighting and stuff like that. So yeah, I am really happy with how this guy turned out. Here is what he looks like without the eyes. Bit more on the spooky side, yes. So pretty much I painted his eyes, or the holes in there, black, and there's a magnet also painted black in there where the eyes connect. And yeah, so his head is actually able to pop open. It's got another magnet in there. I know, surprise. Magnets. Skywarp 33. Yeah. So there's a little switch in here which turns on these little pinpoints. It's kind of hard to see with the light on, but as you can see, he does have little pinpoints of light in there. It's not as bright as I wanted it to be, so I'm kind of working with what I have, but it does look pretty spooky. It's an optical illusion, so it looks like they're following like your perspective when he's moving. But like I said, it's just an optical illusion. Pretty much, I tried to make like a small version of like the pinpoint trick with like Golden Freddy, but I did it with a tea light instead of one of those big push button lights, so it's not nearly as bright, which is like the one thing I wish it could be, is like a little bit brighter so you could see it without other lights being off, because you can see it in this lighting. When I turn this one on, it's a little bit harder to see, so it is what it is. But yeah, so let's get into some comparisons. So I got a lot of rabbit puppets. It's kind of hilarious. So first one is going to be Toy Bonnie compared with Plushtrap. So Plushtrap is technically a functioning puppet, but the way his mechanic works is that his jaw is just loose like this, and then he's got two holes on the back here where a stick would go in, and then you would kind of use that to open and close his mouth for stuff. He's also built out of clay, so it's a little bit different, but the reason I say Toy Bonnie is my first functioning puppet is because I can open and close his mouth with my hand down here instead of having to have like a thumb on the back of him. So if you want to get technical, Plushtrap is still slightly smaller than him, but I would consider this the first functioning with lights and eyes that move and stuff kind of puppet, if that makes sense. So there they are together. I don't know who else to compare him to. Here he is with Bon Bon without Bonnie's body, but as you can see, Bon Bon is a little bit on the larger side in comparison to Toy Bonnie. I personally really like the head shape I got on Toy Bonnie here. I think Bon Bon was probably my most accurate head shape until maybe this guy, so kind of up for debate, but I really like the way most of the rabbit characters I've built turned out, so I'm really liking how this puppet is so far. So, and lastly, here he is with the smallest rabbit puppet, I guess it could technically be, but his mouth doesn't open or close size-wise. So kind of like I said, smallest working puppet, smallest rabbit I have, even though I built him a body. But if we're just going by head size alone, this is the smallest guy, this is the smallest functioning guy, and then we've got like Plushtrap and Bon Bon and then Bonnie, and then my biggest one is Giant Springtrap up there. So yeah. Alrighty guys, so that's gonna do it for the comparisons. I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna actually display this guy. I might trim this stick here to be a little bit shorter, so it's like I'd have to kind of hold it with a couple fingers and do something like that. Because at the moment it's pretty long, so I'm not exactly sure how I'll display him on my shelf. I might just cut like a block of foam and stick the pole into it and have him just kind of be like a head on a stick. Or eventually I might make him like a little display piece that he'll sort of slot into. But yeah, so that's gonna wrap up today's video. I hope you did enjoy. Feel free to suggest other characters. I probably will be doing the other toy animatronics soon. I don't exactly have a time frame for that. I do want to work more on Springtrap soon, so stay tuned for more live streams with him. Oh yeah, before I forget, I also have a Discord channel, so if you want to chat with me or kind of hang out with other like-minded individuals, feel free to join that. The link is at the top of the description. And if you want to help me out and go the extra step besides subscribing, which is already welcome, you could always become a channel member. If you do so, it gives you a custom badge next to your name, and then during live streams and stuff you can use emojis. At the moment, other than that, that's the main reason to do it, besides just sort of supporting me and giving me a little bit of extra incentive to do stuff. But yeah, at the moment that's the main reason to do it, so yeah, that is what it is. Yeah, and I can't really think of anything else to plug in this video, so I hope you enjoyed this showcase of Toy Bonnie. And yeah, with that much being said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Feel free to subscribe and stuff. God bless. I'll see you on the next one. Stay safe, stay inside, and I don't know what else to say in this outro. Bye now!